So hi, I'm Wadih Hanna and this is my Maton guitar collection. I started collecting guitars about 20 years ago. I got fixated on Maton. I bought an old Maton guitar at one stage about 15 years ago, and when I brought that home I played it and it sounded spectacular. And I started doing some research because there's a lot of information about Fender and Gibson and all the American brands, not much on Australian made guitars. So I started doing some research, found out a little bit about it. Then I sort of wanted to get a few different models because that one sounded so good. I thought these old guitars are pretty good. They're relatively inexpensive and they're pretty cool guitars. And it just slowly grew from there. And the more I found out about them, the more I wanted to know more. And so I have multiples of the same model because they made heaps of different models and heaps of different styles within that model of guitar family. And yeah, from a handful of guitars, I thought I was a guitar collector when I had 7 or 8 guitars, and now it's pretty big. The Maton brand, I have 265 guitars, and in total I collect ukuleles, so I have 100 odd ukuleles, and the guitars number about 400 in total. I wanted to talk about 3 guitars in particular that are pretty important to this collection. The first one being an EM325C, which is a flat top acoustic. So this guitar here is a EM325C. So EM is for electric Maton, it's a semi-acoustic. And this is my first acoustic guitar and my first Maton guitar. It's very, very important to me. I mean, it's number 1, it's my second guitar of all time, and now when they number in the hundreds, it's a pretty special guitar, sentimental value. It was made in 1996, and this was a period in Maton's existence where they stopped in the late 80s making electric guitars and basses and really concentrated their efforts on making quality acoustic guitars. And one of the main things that came out in that period was the pickup. These are the guitars that Tommy Emmanuel uses, and I mean, he's their biggest ambassador. And this is part of the family of guitars that sort of made them a household name and gives them the success that they're experiencing today. The other 2 guitars that I want to mention were made 50 years prior. So this guitar is a GA1. It has been rebuilt. I mean, it's got a pretty colourful backstory, but it was hanging in a basement and it was in a pretty bad state of repair. And I found out about it. Obviously, I had to have it. It's one of the last members to join the collection. And what this guitar actually is it's like the prototype for every Maton guitar that I've got in my collection. This is the first guitar ever made by the company that has the Maton brand. It's made in 1946. It's got a couple of really special early features like this raised headstock with a flat top on it, these inlays in the fingerboard. It's a phenomenal guitar. I mean, Matt's a great guitar restorer, so he's done a top job bringing this back to life. But it is an extremely important guitar as well in terms of Maton and in terms of Australian-built guitars. This guitar here is called the E1. It was made in 1946. It is the first electric guitar that Maton ever made. It is also the first custom guitar that they ever made for Jack Wilson. And he asked Bill and Reg May, Bill May's the guy that started Maton with his brother Reg. And yeah, it's a very, very special guitar. I mean, it's the only one of its type in the world, and it's one of the first guitars to come out of the factory. This is the first time I've seen all these guitars out in one space. I mean, this space is fantastic and it's huge. And I've never really seen more than a handful of them out of their cases at the one time. And just to see them all out at once it's very, very overwhelming. Proud that they're all Australian, and proud that it's a historically important collection, but also a little bit weird, the fact that one guy has sort of gone out of his way to collect all of these guitars. Makes me feel a little bit strange.